Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video because we are getting my fridge in order. I'm always getting everyone else's fridges in order and meal prepping for other people, but it's time that I do the same thing for myself. So today we will be meal prepping with Cricut today. I'm so excited. Thank you Cricut for sponsoring this video. Cricut is going to transform my fridge from boring, drab, empty to fun, creative, and also full. So I am so excited, so let's get into the video. I have multiple projects that I want to tackle today, one of them being a meal prepping apron. Cricut allows you to design your own iron-on vinyl, and I want to have my own custom meal prepping apron, which will get me motivated to do this. So let's get started with that. My favorite project you can do on Cricut is iron-on. The steps for making an iron-on project are super simple. I just typed out the phrase that I wanted. I actually went back and forth between if I wanted Yes Chef or this is my meal prep apron written on there, but this is the one that I went with. I went through all of the fonts and I decided which one I wanted. I wanted it to be very legible, but also cute. So that's why it took me a minute to look through all the fonts, but there are so many fun ones to choose from. Once you have the text all lined up and exactly the size that you want, I just added the vinyl color that I wanted. There are so many different color vinyls, but the apron has blue stripes. So I went with this blue vinyl and it looked really pretty. Then I picked off all of the excess vinyl. It was very satisfying peeling this off, and this is how it looked. Once you have all the excess vinyl picked out of the letters, I heated up my Easy Press Mini. It's basically a mini iron. It is so cute and actually very fun to use. It heats up really quickly, and I centered the vinyl and added it directly to my apron and then carefully ironed it on. I did multiple passes over the letters because I didn't want anything to lift off, and then I carefully removed the backing from the vinyl, and it turned out perfectly. It was very centered, which I was worried it wasn't. I think my apron turned out so good. It's so cute. This is just one that I've had for a while and I don't wear it that often because it's kind of plain, but now I'm gonna wear this all the time. This is officially my meal prepping apron. There are so many different colors of the iron-on vinyl as well, and there's glitter and all different styles, so whatever you like, you can iron that onto a t-shirt or a little pouch or whatever your heart desires. Personally, I think having an official meal prepping apron motivates me to get into my own kitchen and meal prep for myself, so let's go do that right now. I have added all the recipes that I'm making today into a meal plan on Food Friends. It's really easy to do. You can just select all the recipes you want to add on here and it can automatically generate a grocery list, which I did do that. So today I want to go over everything that we're making. For me, breakfast is one of the most important meals for me to meal prep because if I don't prep it ahead of time, I'm probably going to gravitate towards something that I shouldn't have, like a protein bar or something more processed. So having this prepped in the fridge makes my mornings so much smoother and so much better and sets me up for a day that I am feeling fueled and full for longer. I actually posted this on my story a few weeks ago, but it was a chocolate chia seed pudding. This chia seed pudding is so good, and one thing about me, I will always like a thicker chia seed pudding that's more like a mousse. So this one I add a little bit less liquid than you would probably think, and then I added some coconut yogurt, which has added protein in it, which I love because it'll help keep me fuller for longer. On Cricut Design Space, I was able to design all of the labels that I wanted. I made some writable ones that the machine will write the labels for me, and it has pretty colored markers. I have a lot of different colored markers to choose from, so it was really fun to pick that out and design the different shapes. Once I had my design finalized on Design Space, I was able to just put in the matless writable paper directly into the machine. It cut out the stars perfectly, and then it wrote the chia seed pudding labels for me. It was perfect. And then I was able to add the label directly to the container, and it stuck perfectly. These labels are perfect for meal prep because they remove easily but stay on in the fridge. We're doing shredded tofu enchiladas. I love enchiladas. They're honestly one of my favorite foods and they're one of the best meal preps. I will leave the baking instructions for myself so I don't have to think about it when I'm starving after work. I shredded some tofu, added some black beans, cilantro, and a little bit of vegan cheese inside each tortilla. I'm using the almond flour siete ones because they're my favorite and I think they bake up really nicely. I added some enchilada sauce on top, sprinkled it with more cheese, and some cilantro. They're high in protein, and honestly they get better as they sit in the fridge, so I highly recommend an enchilada as your meal prep. I'm just going to add the reheat instructions to those ones because I will be storing these in the fridge. You can also freeze these as well, and in that case I would definitely add some reheat instructions for that, and also a date of when you made them so you don't forget about it in the back of your freezer. Next, I'm making a kale and cabbage salad. This is one of my favorite salads. I call it a superfood salad just because I'm adding all sorts of different superfoods, some carrot, cabbage, kale. I added some chickpeas in there as well, and then of course I needed a dressing to go along with it, and I'm doing my maple Dijon dressing. It's literally my favorite. It's so good, and you can honestly put it on any bowl. I think it's really good to change up dressings periodically so your meals aren't all tasting the same. Next, I like to prep a big batch of protein, and since I don't eat meat, I do eat a lot of tofu. So today I'm going to be making some crispy teriyaki tofu. This is one of my favorite proteins to eat. I will probably eat this within 2 days because it is that good, but I love adding it into bowls with like some rice or quinoa and then a roasted veggie. It just comes together really easily, and it's great to have your proteins prepped so you don't have to worry about that, and you'll always be hitting your protein goals. When creating the labels for these meal prep items, I decided to go with a label sheet. There are so many different cute templates, as you can see on Design Space. It actually took me a while to decide what style and kind of like colors and sizing that I want to do, but since there's already a lot going on in my fridge, I did end up going with something a little simple. Once my sheet of labels was designed, I made sure everything was spelled correctly, the spacing was exactly how I wanted it. I was able to send the design directly to my printer from Design Space. I printed it out on this white sticker paper and then loaded it into the Cricut, and somehow Cricut Joy Extra knows exactly where to cut around my lines. Now it's time to package up all the food with all of the cutie labels. There's something so satisfying about making your own labels because you, one, made the food and the labels, so it's really a labor of love, and it was totally worth it. As you can see, these labels stick perfectly to any surface. I'm using a variety of different containers here, and they all work perfect. This is not part of my meal prep, but Franklin has been having some tummy problems, so I've been cooking for him. So I made him a bunch of chicken and rice, and I made a little label for him, and then he also should eat it by the 20th. So I'm gonna put both of these labels on there. One to remind me of when I made it and when he should eat it by, and also to remind myself that this white rice is not for me. Here we go. Frankie's food is labeled and ready to go in the fridge, and so is the rest of the meal prep. There is no better feeling than a well-stocked fridge, and you guys, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Taking my fridge from looking empty and bare to now what it is, beautiful and stocked, makes me feel so good, and I'm so excited to fuel myself for the entire week. Thank you, Cricut, so much for sponsoring today's video. I cannot wait to do this every single week. It is so easy. The Cricut Joy Extra and all of the materials that I use will be linked below, including the Easy Press Mini, which I use to iron on this as well, so you can recreate it. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much.